Sounds good.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the room. We're so excited to learn with you today. Hello, Ashley and Brittany and Candy and Jenny and Jade and Jessica and Joe, all the beautiful people. Thank you for joining us today. I can't wait to learn with you. It is the top of 2 o'clock, so we are going to go ahead and kick off our session today. Today, we are talking about harnessing AI for nanny agencies, saving money and boosting efficiency. And I don't know about you, but that is something that's always on my deck. It's something I'm always interested in. Just as a reminder, a happy chat or Q&A box is a sign of a good time. So feel free to send all those questions in as Ms. Jan is presenting today. I don't know if any of you were at the INA conference, but if you were there, then you're going to consider this an elevated round 2 of what you saw there. But she is amazing. She's all things AI, streamlining and finding ways to plug AI into your business in a way that makes sense and saves you money and still aligns with your integrity. So at this time, I'm going to turn our presentation over to Jan, and we're going to let her take it from here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that introduction. And for all of my friends who were at INA, this will be a little different. So don't worry, it's fresh. Well, thanks so much for having me. I'm just going to share my screen here. All right, you able to see that okay? Cool. So yeah, that's the big thing, right? How many of you have woken up every day with an email inbox full of messages about AI, or you turn on the news and it's AI here or there? It's even a part of kids' toys these days. I just bought a Lego set for my son and it has an AI component. So it's really everywhere. And, really my big thing, as I introduce myself, my big thing is to make sure that people know that technology is not something that should hinder you. It's something that you should dive in and learn. And especially now, technology has become so user-friendly. So as you can see here, I've been in the marketing and sales world for about 20 years. I worked at a handful of different agencies, along with owning my own web development agency for about 12 years. So I've been with you all. Our web agency was actually e-commerce specifically. So our clients were small business owners and we were building websites, but along with that, they had questions about digital marketing, everything from SEO, what do I put on my website, to do I need to do ads on Facebook or Instagram? So we've done everything there is. And, I'd say 8 years ago, technology was a little bit scary and it was a little bit hard because you did have to know a little bit of code here and there to get through pretty much any platform. But now things are just so much easier and applicable for people who don't have any sort of experience in web design or digital marketing. However, that does help. And yes, this picture of me is an AI headshot, and I'll be talking about those too throughout my presentation. How many of you feel busy? I mean, summer especially. I don't know about you, but I've been so slammed. I have 2 kids, and I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to put them in separate summer camps, but I've been spending my day driving and all over. I'm very lucky that I can get through my work day because I don't know how I would work a real job without AI and also have all this stuff going on in the summer. But beyond that, between managing your job and your business, you have your family to run, you have your own health and wellness to run. And by the end of the day, it's just, there's not that much time left over. I actually did ask ChatGPT to outline the day in the life of a job of somebody who might work as a nanny placement agency worker. And mind you, I didn't give it too much information to be specific, but I did go through this with a few ladies that I met who do work for nanny placement agencies, and they said this is pretty spot on. So just looking through this, like, there's communication, there's consultation, there's interviews, There's then talking about those interviews with your colleagues. There's getting back to the interviewees that you've talked to weeks at a time. Then there's matchmaking, seeing who your clients might fit best with. There's all the admin work. We all know about that. Developing our marketing and outreach. That is something I could talk to you all about for hours, but what's your marketing strategy? How are you getting those new clients? How are you not dropping any of those leads on the floor once you've got them? And then, client support. You got to keep your own training and workshops up to date. And then I don't know if you own your own agency, but if you do, there's always payroll and processing and bills to pay. So it's just too much. We all have so much going on. And that's really honestly why I personally got into AI. I just saw the writing on the wall and I realized, oh my gosh, there are ways to actually be more efficient. There are ways to actually automate my follow-ups after I do an interview. There are ways to automate my email inbox. There are ways to automate myself and create a double of myself to sit on a Zoom call just so that I can say I was showing face that day if it was something I didn't need to be a part of. There's so many things. And so, of course, for me, I dove in headfirst, full body in, actually. I like to say I'm a little bit of a nerd, but I really do stay up late and get up early. And the first things I want to read about and learn about each day is what came out, what's new, and what's going to help me and my clients be even more efficient. So that's it. With AI, we can do so much more. I like to have this picture of this track runner because one thing that became really apparent is that we're no longer starting at zero with anything. When we're using AI, we're starting at 80, sometimes 90% completion. You're not going to go sit in a room with a bunch of people and brainstorm content ideas anymore. You're not going to rewrite an email 17 times until it sounds right because you can just use AI for all of that. So what do I mean when I say AI? There's a lot of different ways to define AI, but really what I'm talking about is when we can program computers, computer programs, and no, I don't expect you to do the programming yourself, but we can use computer programs that can do things as if they were human. And what I mean by that is that they can make decisions and they can have conversations with us. And here are 5 logos of the top LLMs, and you might recognize some of these. But when I'm talking about our conversational language learning models, large language models. And of course, you're all going to recognize ChatGPT here at the top. ChatGPT is one of my favorite LLMs. It actually was released in 2018, but it wasn't up until about 18 months ago that most of the public got access and got to jump in. The cool thing about ChatGPT is it's open source. And so what that means is that there's developers around the world who have access to its code and can continue to make it better. So that's why when the race started about 24 to 18 months ago with all these LLMs, ChatGPT skyrocketed past even Google's Gemini. And, they have Google making their product. You would think it would be the best and the biggest right away. But OpenAI and ChatGPT had the entire world of developers making it better for them. Now I'd say they're kind of all caught up with the same access and abilities, but they do differ a little bit. So ChatGPT is one of our most used, most favorite LLMs. It does come with the ability to create custom GPTs, which basically allow you to create your own pre-prompted chatbot. So I'm going to get into that in detail in just a little bit. This is called Perplexity, and it's actually a logo, just the logo for it, but it's an AI search engine. And this is something that my clients love. The difference between this and a Google search is that you can have a conversation with the search items that pop up. You can also define where you want those items to come from. So if you want just educational sources, or say you want just sources from Reddit to pop up or a certain publisher, then you can search that way. This is the logo for something called Anthropic, but the platform that we use is called Claude. And Claude is amazing. It's trained to be more intelligent and more human than ChatGPT. And so if you're writing a lot of blog content or emails or something that's going to a specific person, I always recommend, or something that needs to sound like a specific person, I always recommend Claude because you can train it really well to sound just like yourself. Pi is a AI EQ. And so what that is it's an emotional intelligence AI. And basically it's a therapist in your pocket. You can use their app on your phone and talk directly to your phone. I had a pet pass away in April, and Pi was actually awesome for my kids and myself to talk to about it. Gave us some great tips. Actually ended up creating a coloring book for my kids to get through their grief with losing our pet. So the ideas you get from there are just really, really great. And then last, Gemini is Google's LLM. For a long time, it was called Bard. So if you've heard of Bard, that's gone. And Gemini is great because if you're a Google Suite user, meaning that you have Gmail and Google Docs, Gemini integrates with all of that. And it's a great way to just use their AI throughout your day, whether it's Google Docs, Excel spreadsheets, or your email. So as I mentioned before, my background is in sales and marketing. And so when I started out in the AI world, it's like, yeah, it's fun to create rap songs with AI and it's fun to write stories, right? But how can I use it to actually grow my business? And so at Jam AI, which I know I didn't even introduce that, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, we help our clients use AI to grow their businesses. And everything that we do is based off of the last 20 years of what's worked with digital marketing and sales. And the biggest thing is the marketing funnel. And this is something that we go over quite a bit, but if you haven't seen this before, this is a marketing funnel. And basically what it's explaining is that the top of funnel, tofu, is basically how you get people into your world, right? So how are you getting people interested enough to start coming through your funnel to learn more about you and your company and what you have to offer? So we call these top of funnel activities. So these are things that you can do to get more people to notice you. Some of these are paid actions and some of them are organic actions. And I have a few more of these examples coming up. Middle of the funnel are people who said, okay, I'm a little interested. I want to know more. So maybe they opened an email from you, or maybe they clicked on a social media post. And so now they're in, and this is your time to really dig your claws in and tell them who and what you offer. This is where you'll see people send free downloads or free trials or one-on-one calls, things like that. And we have a lot of fun examples of how you can create these lead magnets with AI. And then bottom of the funnel, this is where you really convert. So this is everything from, a coupon code that they can't resist, or something that's created specifically just for them and their business, which I've always done, and I've always taught my clients to do this. But with AI, it's so much easier now to create a video of yourself speaking directly to them by name, mentioning their company and what it is that they do and how you can help. Things like that used to take hours and hours and hours of time. And now you can just basically duplicate yourself to create a lot of that. So the funnel's great, but let's automate this stuff. And just so you guys know, I will be sending this after. So if you're taking notes or screenshotting, feel free, but you don't have to. So this again is top of funnel AI prompts. And I always like to have a live room and get a show of hands of like, how many of you know what a prompt is? So for those of you who know what that is, you can like go get water for a second, but come right back. But a prompt is how you talk to your LLM. And so basically you would copy this and customize it with your information and then send it in to ChatGPT. And we'll be doing some of these live in a little bit, but that's exactly what prompt means. So social media posts, paid advertisements, email sequences for new subscribers, podcast advertisement scripts. There's also 1,000 different ways to write prompts like this. And these are very beginner level prompts. In our JAM AI training, we do have a prompting 101 course. And so by the end of something like that, your prompt wouldn't look like this. It would look like something like act as the, excuse me, act as the marketing director for APNA and create engaging social media posts for TikTok, include a creative and controversial hook and focus on getting new clients. So something like that. And then you can also tell it, put it in a table format or act as a director of marketing that works for a digital agency and present to me as if I was your client about fill in the blank. So prompting can get really crazy, and it's actually a whole industry at this point. Prompt engineers are popping up left and right, and they are being paid very, very well out there. So really, really lean in to learn how to prompt, and it'll change your entire experience with these LLMs. So we have everything, these are still top of funnel. So a website pop-up, interactive social media campaigns, influencer collab proposal. There's so many different ways to get people interested. So then here's some examples of the middle of the funnel. This is the time when you're really, really selling yourself on why you are the expert, you are the agency that they should work with. So that's where testimonials come in. There's a lot of great AI tools for creating quizzes, like what type of nanny are you looking for? Or I don't know, there's a ton of fun quizzes that kind of go viral out there. And then you'll realize at the end, oh, this is actually a lead magnet for whatever it is. An ebook, a webinar registration, or a webinar, video content access, goes on and on. And then bottom of funnel is really, how can you convert those people once they've downloaded your item, whatever that is. So as I said, I will send this to you, and this is where you can kind of think through how that works. But really, the big thing is marketing tasks as a whole. And I know when I was at INA, that was one of the biggest things people were struggling with, was just like, we are business owners. And if we're not business owners, we're, recruiters, and we're busy doing our actual job. We don't have time to do all this. This is the recommended number of times that you should be posting on social media to grow your accounts. And in fact, I was just at a digital marketing conference last week, and it was even more than this. And they also said the new trend is to not follow trends. And so if you were doing dances or using, sounds that were trending, now it's all about being you and being organic. And so they want even more than this. And to that, most of you say, I ain't got time for that. Who does? Who does? No one. So here's some examples of how we use AI for Meta. And we do have AI Marketing 101 is one of our courses in JAM AI. And we have specific training for growing your social media accounts organically, and then also for paid ads. So like I said, this is a really good prompt. And this is one that I actually would like to try it live, even though that could be scary. But I'm gonna come back and try it live after we go through these slides. But basically, you copy this and put it in. And something like this used to cost thousands of dollars. Like, we used to pay agencies to come up with content plans for us, content calendars for us. Just my small business, we paid somebody $2,500 a month to do all of that. And what they did was come up with the content calendar, and then they would basically give us an Excel spreadsheet of what would be posted that month. And with that prompt I just did, with these 2 steps, you can do that exact thing. So this is giving you a 30-day, day by day, what is the post, what is the type. And then I said, no, I want more than that. I want you to actually put it into the table format. I'm just gonna like skip it ahead a little bit if I can. It's not letting me. But basically, you can take that whole thing and it's like, okay, great. I have 30 days of content written out like this, but that's hard for me to share and digest and actually use. And so what I would want to do is have it be put into an actual spreadsheet. And so once you have that spreadsheet, you can then use it. Because one of the biggest things people say is like, okay, Jam, great. I just created, 500-page document of AI content. Like, what do I do with it now? So that's where you need to have it in the table format or in some sort of CSV format. And you could use things like Tailwind. Tailwind's a really great AI social media posting platform. And you could literally upload it, post it, it posts it. It's like all on its own. So basically it's doing another TikTok version of this because last time it was for Meta. So more videos. This was something that was really interesting too in the conference I just went to. If any of you were thinking that TikTok might be over just because the conversation around it being bought out, everyone still is saying like lean into it. It's something that's going to be here for quite a while. So here you can finally see the table coming together. So once you do that, you just copy that table and you'll save it in a Google Doc as a CSV file. And then I know a lot of people at INA were using Canva. So that was the example that I wanted to use today. But Canva, you just go and you hit like Instagram Reel or Facebook Story, and it'll give you all of these templates that you can then play with. And the coolest part is you can create, I think in that table I had like 20 different posts, but you could ask to create 50 different posts. And all you would do is just go to apps and then you select bulk create and you upload that spreadsheet that you just saved. And it's just a quick CSV file. And then you can connect the text. You hit continue and it can make 20 more of those. And then in Canva, all you would have to do is exchange the background for whatever it is you want to use. So if your company has your own self-shot footage, that's the best thing that you could use. All the stock footage is great, but if you could use real content, even if you shoot it with your iPhone, seeing your real faces, coming from the AI person, but seeing your real faces is key. So this is how you do the bulk create. And right now I'm just switching out all the backgrounds. And Canva in the paid for version, their pro version, you could actually connect your social media platforms and post them directly from here too. So speaking of, TikTok, as I said, is still growing, but YouTube is really the hot thing, which is interesting. YouTube shorts are basically the newest type of reel or video out there, and they are looking for people to grow. So if you get in on the bottom floor right now, you're going to be golden. You're going to grow your brand so much faster. So that's something called Opus Clip. And this is a really great way to grow your TikTok shorts and your YouTube shorts. Basically all you do is you get an Opus account. You could get it just for a month. It's like $17 a month, I believe. And spend an hour, honestly, just spend an hour finding relatable YouTube videos about what you all do. It does not have to be you guys. It does not have to be your company. It just has to be in your industry. And it has to be something that your clients would watch or search for. And what Opus Clip does is it actually takes that YouTube video and it rebrands it with your logo, your fonts, whatever you choose. And then it'll actually write out posts for you as well to put on YouTube Shorts or TikTok. The really cool thing is it'll actually grade your videos on how well they'll do. So for an example, for Jam AI, I took a clip of John Oliver's show called Last Week Tonight. It's on HBO, and he had a whole clip about AI and what it's doing for business owners. And so, of course, John Oliver has a much bigger following than I do, right? So what I did was I used John Oliver's link, put it into Opus Clip, rebranded it with Jam AI, and it just looks like we're standing behind what he's saying. So people on YouTube like you to use this because they still get views for their content, but it also has your name on it and it expands your brand's footprint. So this is a really, really cool platform. It's been around for a couple of years now, and they keep adding more ways to share. They recently just added a LinkedIn for this as well. So here's an example of what it comes up with after you upload the video. So here's like the post, and it tells you how good it might do. And then if you share it, you can just select which profile you want it to go to, and you can publish it straight from here. So again, that's all about growing. But when it comes to social media on Reels and Facebook, and you should sprinkle this into your TikTok, use your own face. But this is a good way to expand that brand footprint. So client meetings, I'm sure a lot of you are just like me and are on Zoom half of your day, every day. I personally love Zoom because I feel a little bit stuck at home. My husband travels and my kids are little still, so Zoom allows me to do it all, and I love it. I don't get Zoom fatigue. So, but I have a lot of Zoom calls. So here's just like a couple days in my life, and basically I'll use something called Fathom.ai, and it records my Zoom calls. There's a couple other AIs that do this as well, but I like Fathom. Just been with them a long time and they do what I need. But what I do is I use Fathom, and in this example, I created a automation in Zapier with ChatGPT. So basically, Fathom will send me an email summary of what we just talked about on the call. It'll name who said what. It'll talk about the follow-up items needed and anything else that might be in that situation. So in here, I'll play it again. I had ChatGPT now automate a response to people who were on my call. So after my Fathom and Zoom meeting, if you hang up with me, you'll get an email with the follow-up, but it's in my tone and it's asking when we can schedule those next steps. So here's an example of one that it wrote itself. So I think that's a really great thing and takes a lot off your plate. You don't have to be scribbling notes while you're on a Zoom call, and you don't have to do that follow-up because it'll automatically write the email, and in Zapier, you can actually have it schedule that meeting as well. AI for customer service. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about chatbots. So we use a couple different chatbot resources. Chatbase is a really good one, and it's super easy to create. So all you would do is go to chatbase.ai, and it actually uses ChatGPT to create its bots. And you can program it to know whatever you need it to know. So one of my clients is a franchise for senior home health care. And because they're a franchise, they had a treasure trove of information on their services and what their company is all about. So you can upload a pretty much unlimited amount of links from a website. You can upload documents, and you could upload text to train your chatbot. And so this is then going to be put on maybe the front page of your website, or it could be in some sort of portal if you have some sort of training portal. It could also be its own website. So if you just wanted to have a Q&A on your website or a FAQ, it could be its own page. But one of the things that I learned at INA too is somebody was like, oh, I thought that it, is thousands of dollars and I'd have to hire a developer to create my own chatbots or my ChatGPT chatbots. And it turns out it's like $7.99 a month. So super easy to do and very affordable. AI for prospecting. This one, we'll see how it lands with you guys, but I know at INA it was a little hit or miss because this is a Seamless AI is a platform that I really love, but it's a little bit B2B. And so if you're looking for specific people who might be moms or nannies or dads, this is not your girl, but you could try it and just see what it's like. If you target maybe a specific industry, like maybe your clients are in film or maybe your clients are in investment banking. All this is it's a way to filter people who have intent search. And so basically the best way to think of it, it allows you to search what people are searching for. But it's very businessy. So we did look, and nanny was not in the search. But you could get creative, or like I said, you could find your ideal prospect, and we call them ICPs, ideal client profile. And if you know that they're in a specific industry, you could really find like a city, an industry, a title, and then it gives you their names and phone numbers and emails. So it's a way to really get in front of people. And what we do with this is then we'll use AI to create and draft emails to those people to make sure that they're getting, very customized emails. So this is our platform. It's called the AI Club GPT, and we're currently using GPT. But what I do is I like to have it create an email funnel. We have some pre-prompted bots inside this platform that will do any sort of funnels that you might want. So it's like post-sales funnel, first touch funnel, things like that. And then the third step would be to actually send them out. So we use something called GMass. So if anyone here is a Google user, you can get an extension called GMass, and it's just right up there. And then basically You could download all of those people's information from Seamless and put it right into your Google spreadsheets, and GMass will actually connect it. And so right there, it says that I have like 10,692 recipients on that list. And then you can personalize it based on those email funnels that we just created. So this is a mail merge system is what they're called. There's a few out there, but GMass, if you're a Google user, is by far the best. So it allows you to send thousands of emails in minutes. Here's just a snapshot of what we did in about a week. And you're like, are you spamming a bunch of people? Well, you have to think about who you're connecting with and what you're sending them. These are not pure sales emails. So for example, in the first part I showed you, the funnels, right? We'd want to be creating some of those middle of funnel type documents or giveaways. And so we're trying to come up with ideas where we could put helpful information or guides or just something that our clientele would find interesting in front of them. If it gets us an open and a click, great. I don't care what anyone says. This is a great way to get business because at the end of the day, it's a numbers game, right? Like the more people that you can get in front of, the more possibilities you have to get that phone call, to get that new client. So this is how we've grown our company, and it's worked great. I'm also going to show you a quick example of training and workshops. So I know at INA, they had a lot of workshops around how to do certain things or how to train for specific roles. And this is really fun. So this is called Hey Jen. And the last agency I was with was actually a video production company. And so this one's very near and dear to me. I would tell you on average, a interview video, talking head is what they're called. And talking head professional video would cost around 15 to 25,000. And that's going to be like lower end production. So using an avatar, using yourself, and then using these AI powered video production tools are such a game changer. So this is kind of what it looks like on the inside. You can either make a video avatar of yourself. So like this is not actually me. Or you can use a template and use any of these people who have volunteered to be video avatars. So I have some clients that use this and they've actually like named all these people and put them on their website as their employees, which is pretty funny. So you can choose whatever avatar that you want to create. And then this is ChatGPT, and I'm going to ask it to create a script for my video. So act as a professional that works in a nanny placement organization. Create a 5-step training on how to onboard my nanny with a new family. The steps are, and then you list out the steps, and then you can go back and forth on really creating this script. So once you have that, you just go back into Hey Jen and you'll copy it and paste it in. And I'll play this.
Welcome to step 1 of our nanny onboarding process, setting up an in-person meeting. This initial meeting is crucial for both the nanny and the family to get to know each other. It's a chance to discuss expectations, house rules, and any specific needs. We encourage both parties to prepare questions and
So I won't make you watch the whole thing, but if you have seen the AI video iterations over the past 24 months, this is truly remarkable. Just about 6 months ago, I was doing a keynote, and honestly, the person I showed who was the avatar looked like some sort of monster and like sounded really crazy. Yeah, if you look closely, you can still tell that this is AI, but it's so close to being a real human. It tricked my mom, that's for sure. So it'll trick some people. But these are great for internal videos, for training, we have one for onboarding onto our platform, kind of teaching people how to use it. And then also I like the one of myself because I had to do my hair today and like, I don't have time to do that every day. And so if I use my avatar, then I can do my social media posts or whatever. And I can do it, with my hair oil in or in my jammies or something. No one will know. And then I just wanted to show this really quick because this is, as you can see, it says like online course creator. So this is in ChatGPT, but this is called a custom GPT. And so this is one that we built and it's available to the public, but you can see that it doesn't have, you don't have to prompt it when it's a GPT because GPTs are already built to do a specific task and do that thing really well. So this one's for creating courses. There's 1,000 other out there for creating social media posts or writing emails, or honestly, if you think about it, there's probably one. So that's the other thing too, is it will create a downloadable checklist for you and you could download it and it goes right into your files. This is pretty new. You couldn't do this. You couldn't have it design stuff for you like 3-4 months ago, but now it's actually designing PDFs for you, which is awesome. Who knows, in about a month, it's probably gonna like have it customized perfectly to the type of templates you use. I know I was talking to one of the companies from INA and they said that they like to take the nanny's resume and then they always format it to look a specific way. And there's not a great way to do that right now, but like this is showing that that's definitely something that'll happen really soon. So I know I skipped through a lot. I wanted to make it really high level and have enough time for questions, but like this is just an example of what these types of services that we went over used to cost. Here's monthly and annually. So you can see like a small business, startup, small business would spend around $100,000. And this is being really like generous. And then this is if you use AI for all those things mentioned. So you're spending maybe $3,000 a year. You're doing a lot more of it yourself, but it's worth it. Like, wouldn't you want to learn how to use all that to save $115,000 a year? So I know I didn't really introduce Jam AI, but that's exactly what we do. We have online training and we also have the AI GPT, which is ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Claude all in one platform. And then this is a snapshot of some of our courses. We actually have 9 courses. And then inside each one, we have about anywhere between 5 and 9 modules within. Here's just a look at our multimodal LLM, so you can choose, what you want to use. And that's fun to play with too, because sometimes I'll get an answer from Claude and I'll resubmit it through ChatGPT and just kind of see the differences. And this is what it looks like from a user interface point. That's kind of it. This is a QR code for a free trial if you wanted to check it out. And yeah, love to answer any questions you might have.
This was super, super great. Loads of information. I'm sure people were trying to write furiously before they were reminded that it's recorded. But I'm totally down for the brain overload that is this amazing information, because I think it's such usable and applicable information for all of us. We're going to go to some of the questions that were coming through. One on when we were talking about writing. Let's see which one. Writing. Uploading links from the website, training your bot to do certain writing for you. One question was, how is that not going to be copyright infringement?
If the bot is writing for you? You mean just for the customer service type stuff?
For that, for when you're creating let's see, which things was she talking about? When we're talking about the Opus clip. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, Opus Clip. So it'll
Mhm.
always have the link in there back to the original video. And so that's why creators actually like Opus Clip.
Uh-huh.
And when it rebrands, it puts your logo on the top, but it still has like the John Oliver one, it still had his little like circle and people knew that it was from him.
Okay. Is this something that if someone is a complete novice with regards to technology and things like that, that they can realistically get into? And if so, what does that learning curve look like for them?
Yes, 100%. One of our members is in his mid-60s, which that's still very young. And he is forging through and he's created his whole entire marketing plan with AI and he's said it's super easy. So, and like I said, as the technology gets better, you have to do less. So 20 months ago, you did have to be a prompt engineer to get something good out of ChatGPT. And now, because there's all these custom GPTs, you just make their request and it comes out.
Do you think that there's still a way for individuals and business owners to utilize these different platforms and still maintain like their authenticity, their unique qualities or unique value proposition and things like that, if as a whole everyone is, you know, using open source material?
Totally. And that's a great question. So one of the things that we always say is like, we want people to use AI to actually be more human. And what we mean by that is two things. Number one, learn how to train these things to sound exactly like you. So for me, I have a Jam AI GPT that's trained on probably 5 years of different emails and proposals that I've written. And then I've also gone through a couple branding and training conferences and workshops. And I found like my celebrity voice and style. And so mine is Mila Kunis. And so I like to say like use all of these examples and then also use 20% of the tone of Mila Kunis, but do not mention her name. And I'm telling you all of this stuff that's written. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I would say. It's my tone, it's my weird quirks in there. So that's one part. And then the second part is we want people to learn how to use AI so that they can get outside and play or go do those in-person coffee meetings that we don't have time for anymore. So that's what we're really trying to do is like save time, use AI, but also go be a human.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like the juxtaposition between being fully into the world of technology while also staying fully human.
Yeah.
Keeping that humanity in the way that you communicate with others. Michelle was asking, how do you train AI? Do you just have an account and keep putting more information into it, or how would you go about that?
Good question. So in one of our modules called ChatGPT Mastery, I show people how to do this, but I'll just give you a sneak peek real quick. So ChatGPT is now free. I don't know if you know, but it's free to the public. And you also have access to GPTs. So go to Explore GPTs, and all you do is hit create. And I have a lot of detail in the free trial if you want to dive in, but you go to configure, and here's where you can write the instructions that I mentioned before, like I have. And then here's where you can upload files. So whatever you have that could train your GPT, whether it's a bunch of emails you sent, or we also have on our website, there's a free download and it's called the setup guide. And basically it's 20 questions that you answer about yourself and your business. And it tells your GPT who you are. So it's kind of like an interview that you upload. And then it knows everything about you, your business, your audience, what your goals are. And that's how we train our GPTs. There's also a couple different ways to do that in Gemini and Claude. That does have to do with that setup document.
Gotcha. Morgan had a customer service question for you. She said her assistant accidentally canceled her AI Club Society subscription, but she'd like to reinstate it before it ends without having to pay the initiation fee again. Would she contact customer service to do that, or how would she go about that?
Yeah, Morgan, just email me. It's jam@jamout.ai. I'll take care of that for you.
I really appreciate it. We have another question. I made a sitter GPT with a tech colleague with a large volume of well-regarded reference material, but we were hesitant to publish it because GPT can hallucinate or spit out junk even when you train it. Any advice on this?
Who is using the sitter? I wonder if it's going out to public use or just hallucinating to you. Either way, the latest update of ChatGPT 4.0 that came out in early May, the hallucination should be gone. So if you're using 4.0, you should be okay. And also people who are using AI and know that they're using chatbots, like we kind of know that'll happen once in a while. And we're all pretty trained to just be like, no, give me a different answer. So.
Okay. That's really great. Kristen says, do you have any suggestions on how to use AI for the initial stages of the vetting process, such as reviewing applicants and replacing phone interviews? Currently, they conduct phone interviews before they do face-to-face interviews.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Yeah. And actually, I was talking to, probably shouldn't say the name, but I was talking to a nanny agency about this. And yes, so again, you would create your GPT and it would be your nanny interview GPT. On the front end, people can upload their resumes. And so you could have people on your team get the resume, upload it, and this would do an initial pass. And then you could also program it to have like a grade, maybe like a B, C, D. And if it's a C or even a low B, you could program it to ask like, hey, I need more clarifying questions on these things. So, because not everyone does their resume the right way or the same way. And so training it to think through it on what's important to your company is a great way to do that. Yeah, and if you guys have questions on how to build those, like I'm happy to answer those via email.
Yes. Are there any other questions that we can answer while we're on and we can pick her brain? Listen, I'm here for all of it. I feel like you've given really great information, very cohesive information, things that are not I don't know, big or abstract in nature, but they're very physical things that we can do tomorrow. Like I'm pretty sure everybody was writing down different did you say LLMs?
LLMs, yep.
Writing those down. I'm sure they'll be doing research today and going to your website. Just want to remind everyone that we will be sending out the recording for this particular session so that you can watch it, pause it, try it, see if you have any questions. Jim's information will be listed everywhere so that you can contact her directly, so that you can save that QR code so that you can reach out for your initial consultation with her and have that benefit of really just talking to her one-on-one. Want to also remind all of you that it is open season for registering for the APNA conference, which will be happening this fall. I believe the early bird pricing ends on June 30th. So we do encourage you all to get in there and get your registration on file. So that way we can see you in the fall. We do hope to see each and every one of your faces there to network and to learn more things just like this. Thank you so much for your time today, for your expertise, and for the energy that you put into sharing this with our team. We are really so grateful. I am sure that today will impact so many business owners all across the United States. Do we have anyone else? Yep. Michelle is saying thank you. Everybody's saying thank you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I love your industry and you guys are awesome, and enjoy the conference, and you know where to find me. So thank you so much for having me.
All right, everyone. Thank you again for your time. Until next time, take care.
Bye.
Bye.